Yes, legends, welcome back to this video. Good to see you all back here. Guys, very important video today, very interesting video today. We have got a very special guest. We have got Ben Zhou. I can't pronounce it with the Z. I don't know what's going on, but we've got Ben. He is the co-founder and CEO of Bybit. It's good to see you, mate. How are you?
I'm very good, man. Thank you for having me on the show.
Perfecto. So there's going to be some quick questions, guys. Obviously, this video it's quite a good time to do an interview like this. You've done many interviews because of the whole FTX drama, exchanges, etc. So the first question for me, very, very simply, is okay. It's going to be about FTX, but did the whole FTX shenanigans, I call it, did the whole FTX collapse? Did it shock you to see how quickly that unfolded?
I think we're as much shocked as everyone else. I mean, we've always kind of seen them as a very big competitor, and obviously they've done some amazing work in terms of. I mean, they're very good at PR and branding, and I think nobody expected things to happen the way it happened, and now the guy's in jail, and it happened in 3 days. Is insane.
Man, I can't agree with you more. Like FTX, the whole it was the media as well, which made it look like it was so strong and rigid. But then you pull the curtain across, and it was just completely crazy. Can't really believe it. But so the question to me is obviously I use Bybit every day. I trade on Bybit. Like, what is the main difference between Bybit and FTX in terms of like how you run the whole exchange?
Yeah, I think the reason why we got so shocked is also, over the years we've kind of we know our numbers and we kind of expected what their numbers would be, but there was always one kind of a question. We were like, how are they spending all this money and how do they come up with all this cash flow? And our answer was that they must made a killing with their Alameda trading house, right? So and this kind of rationalized all these irrational behavior of FTX. But now in retrospect, you can see they're simply using customers' funds. I mean, for Bybit, we simply don't have any entities like Alameda that's making these crazy investments, billing companies out and or trading against the clients. So that's number one. And now I think almost as expected for all the exchanges are show proof of funds, and Bybit is one of the exchange did show proof of reserves with Merkle trees. So any clients who have doubt can simply go to Nansen or our website to check the Merkle tree and also our overall reserves. In fact, Bybit had been top of the chart for the past 2 weeks. That we had the most net inflows, which shows I think users are gaining more confidence in Bybit as well. Yeah.
Yeah, because you've got like Binance as well is under the firing line at the minute. Good old CZ. So what do you take? What's your take on that side of it with Binance right now?
To be honest, if I speak from a spectator perspective, I think CZ didn't expect to get into this much problem. I mean, I don't think he knew he would have taken down FTX with a single tweet, which he did. So it ended up kind of to be a shit show that he probably didn't expect. And now everyone's panicking. And you can see that the media really starting to pick up now. If you go to Twitter, you go open the TV, they just started to talk about it. CNBC, all these news, traditional ones. And so that's why I think he's under a lot of pressure now. I mean, but any exchanges now are under pressure, including us. But we just have to make sure moving forward we do it more transparently and yeah.
I think you're completely right when you say it's one tweet. One tweet changed the whole course of crypto for probably the next few years. It's insane that one man can be behind something and it's all smoke and mirrors. One tweet can make the whole thing. And I think that's the reason why people are so skeptical of exchanges right now in general, is because they thought FTX was so secure, but then this like if FTX is like this, who else is like this? So I kind of agree with the market doing it. I think it's going to be good in the long term, because when you do proof of reserves, like you said, it's going to just show transparency, so show integrity, etc. So I think it is good. But how do you see, like, cause this is probably going to play out now for like years. Like you said, CNBC are just looking at it. They're probably going to be talking about this for like 5 years. Like this is just going to keep going on. And with Chapter 11, all this kind of stuff. How do you see, the space in exchanges evolving for Bybit specifically, but in the space in general? How do you see it evolving from this collapse in FTX?
Yeah, I think in the short run, it's going to be very painful. I'm expecting to see a few more, contingencies happening, maybe ripple effects of other companies falling probably in a few months. But long term, I think is very good for crypto in general. Exchanges are now required to be more transparent, to show their audited report. And simply, I don't think any exchange from now on would have any setup like Alameda, because the moment you say that, nobody's going to trust you. So I think back to the kind of common sense that exchanges should be doing what exchanges do, and there shouldn't be any conflict of interests. And also, I think when exchanges are making big investments, big movements, the moment I guess before we do that, we need to start thinking about, okay, um, how do we show that we're not using clients' funds to make these investments, and to be more, be more assured.
Mm.
And I think long run, there are going to be more solutions coming out to be to solve the trust problem. Maybe more Web3 solutions to custody clients fund. Like right now, we are working with a few custody services to allow them to custody our clients' funds, so the
Mm.
clients essentially don't have to deposit into Bybit, and they can keep it at Fireblocks or clear loops, for those matters. So I think moving forward, the industry is going to come out better, and it's going to be more self-regulated. Yeah.
Mm. I think that's really interesting. I didn't actually know that you would use a third-party custodial and then you could trade with that. I think that's actually quite an interesting concept there, to be honest. So yeah, with those points you just made, what's the difference in terms of the user base between, like, say, FTX and Bybit right now? I think what is the user base of Bybit compared?
Even before, we are very different. FTX typically are very institution focused, and also they're very big whales focused, because the way they run the business, the branding, most people with a lot of money trusted FTX, which is the irony of the whole thing, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
they have all these celebrities, they have all these guys backing them. So people who had a lot of money was actually using FTX, which why the hole was so big, right? And if you look at the product, it's not really retail friendly. It's a very kind of financial, kind of trader focused product, which they were very good at. Like they had these unified margin systems, very good for big traders. On the other hand, Bybit had always been more retail focused. I mean, we have about 10 million users now registered. Our daily active users logging into Bybit to trade is about 200,000. Average deposit probably 500 to 1,000. So we have a
Yeah,
lot
yeah.
of smaller players who kind of come to Bybit to trade, and take advantage of all these tools we offer. And we have a massive retail base, whereas FTX is more bigger clients. So even before this whole thing, if you look at the site traffic, we were third in the world, and we were about twice bigger than FTX in terms of
Mm.
traffic. Yeah.
Tons of numbers, like small numbers. I think something I kind of like took from Bybit. Obviously, you did this, but like I think the strategy at the beginning when you kind of took the lead from BitMEX is like you moved it from looking institutional to retail, because that's what the space was back then. It was mainly retail guys, but there was big players, but they were too scared to get in. They wanted to go through the traditional route, and then the Bybit was kind of like, even for me, I looked at it, I was like, this is more user friendly, and that's a lot of the time. A lot of people in my community didn't go to FTX because they just didn't like the way it felt, it looked, and then it kind of is funny because they thought that was the institutional way, and then everyone else who the institutions lost all their money and the big traders. So it's a funny dynamic how that even played out, man.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, because we believe the future with crypto is mass adoption. So we want to build a product that helps mass adoption, and mass adoption is mostly everyone. So we want to build a product that's very easy to understand, easy to use, and all that. Yeah.
mm. What is on the horizon in terms of okay, obviously you've done some investment with DEXs, but I'll talk about DEXs a little bit further on. But like, what are the next products you're looking at to bring to retail? Because you've also got options. There are options, on other exchanges. Obviously, a little bit more technical. You could do stuff like, there's a few exchanges. I think actually Bybit does this now. We have like some sort of insurance fund. like similar to BitMEX, so you could insure your trades. What kind of other products are you looking at, which you're thinking this is really going to bring Bybit to the next level?
Yeah, okay, very good question. So on one end, one hand, we want to become more professional. So we're actually going to roll out the whole unified margin system, meaning that you only have one trading account to trade spot, perpetual, option at the same time. And you can use any token collateralized immediately into USDT, whatever USDC you can trade. So that it will be very similar to FTX. So we want to make our product even more professional, tailor-made also for the institutions, and to kind of fill the market gap after FTX is gone.
Yeah.
On the other hand, we want to make trading even simpler, because we realize a lot of people don't know how to trade. That's why we've come up with all these trading bot, copy trading, different trading tools to help people who don't know how to trade. You can simply make their life easier, and if you want to take advantage of the market movement. Even in this bear market, you can copy someone, you can use the bot, you can use DCA, and all these tools that we offer. So that's kind of the two directions on the trading side. And then we also launched the Web3. So I think the future is the Web3. I think the next bull run is definitely going to be something coming from Web3. And this is why we have this wallet integration with DEX, Apex. And I think furthermore, we're going to really put more energy into resources into Bybit Web3 wallet for users to be able to use that wallet to navigate through Web3 in an extremely easy way, just how we offer them in trading. Give you one quick example, like DeFi and all these things is so complicated. With our Web3 wallet, you can simply click one button and all the rest are handled. And even there's going to be auto take profit, auto stop loss, anti-rug pull kind of a tool. When the LTV drops, you can auto exit, these type of tools.
Nice, yeah.
Built around the wallet. Yeah.
No, I think that's really cool. I think what you just said as well, like with the whole making it easy to trade. I said this a few years ago. I was like, I feel like everyone is going to have to know a little bit more about trading in general in the world as we go forward with crypto. Because like crypto is about sovereignty of your own assets. You own your own Bitcoin, you've got your own keys. So like the whole dynamic shift is moving to sovereignty and owning your own assets. So people have to become slightly more savvy in trading. Like that is the way it's going to go. And then you could have it so, like you said with DeFi, people need, like, DeFi's, even for me, I've been in crypto for years. It's still just like, I can't really I don't want to do this. Like, I just feel like I don't want to be moving money around. Like even Lido, the Ethereum thing where you get a staking yield on that. I just a little bit like, even for me, I can't trust this. I don't know about it. I would just need some sort of easier solution. Is that what you're saying with the Web3 wallet? That kind of thing is what you're talking about?
Exactly. So I'm exactly in your shoes, man. I know I can easily put some my stable coins into Ethereum staking, get like a 5% APY easy, but I just couldn't be bothered to. You have to like watch a few tutorials.
Another thing to think about. You got to think about it again.
So our goal is to make people think, like, to make life simple. So with that wallet, we'll show you your options in Web3. What's the most hottest thing, right? You can stake in Curve, you can stake in Ethereum, and you can click on the staking and the amount you want, and everything is deployed automatically. And you can also set take profit. So when your profit gains certain level, you earn $100, $200, you pull out. This type of automation is very much needed, and also you can pull out when the gas fee is low automatically.
Nice.
Type of things to make people life easier. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. No, I think all these things are good, man. Like it is the next step, and then bridging that to DEXs. Like we've got to talk about Apex because I actually am using that DEX at the minute. It looks really cool, similar to Bybit. So like, just from your opinion, you literally built an exchange, so you're the perfect person to ask. Like, what are the main challenges to make it so DEXs can have the same user experience, the same liquidity, the same speed, the same matching engines, all that kind of stuff? How do you get to that point where you make it so there's a DEX which is the same, quality and usability as Bybit?
Yeah, so I think, well, first of all, we are an investor of Apex. This is why we have such integration, and we give them a lot of tips on the UI, on the take profit, the stop loss, the people, the trader love, what they love about Bybit. And we want to incorporate that into Apex, which is a DEX. So the user interface, we want to do that, but still the biggest challenge remains is that you simply cannot have the same matching engine because it's a DEX, right? So you can see, I think the futures retail would most likely go there, but for any people that uses high frequency tradings, it's impossible. I mean, we work with Tower, we will work with Jump and all these big trading firms. They complain about 2 milliseconds of delay. How do you trade that automation, all this
Texas
crazy
minutes,
stuff
yeah,
on a
crazy.
DEX, right? So on a DEX is only for people who place the order, leave it there for a while. I mean, even if you want to trade like the 5 minutes chart, it's going to be very difficult because of the delay. So I think maybe technology will solve it at some point, but I don't know. But still, I think from this point on, we're just trying to make Apex more user friendly, and at least for retail, they can go there. Yeah.
It's interesting because like there's a big, I think there's going to be a big seismic shift here, like to DEXs eventually. Like things like Bybit and centralized entities will not ever go away because there are people who want to trust somebody else to hold their assets. That's fine. And you're always going to get a faster throughput with a database instead of a blockchain, right? To hash everything, every single transaction. So like, I think that this next step for DEXs, I really do think it's amazing. I think a lot of the tools that DEXs use, like AMM pools, a lot of that will go to traditional exchanges as well. We're seeing that with Bullish. There's a company called Bullish with Block One invested in it. They have all these kind of like cool liquidity pools as well. And like we know that's in the centralized space with dark pools, but the AMM systems are cool. But I just want to like, do you think how long do you think it's going to take for DEXs to really kick off? You know, in terms of like people actually using them as much as centralized alternatives.
I think at the end of the day, it's all about user experience. You just gotta make them so simple to use. Don't have to worry about MetaMask. MetaMask is many new people. It's crazy. Even though its name is crazy. What was MetaMask? Right?
Yeah, I literally think that as well.
Yeah.
It's like, what is MetaMask? It's
yeah. So
and
people
there's
are
the Fox involved.
what people are used to is Amazon. Like this type of shopping, these kind of online things where you just register with your email and you can start do things you want to do, right? So I think we're gonna actually try to connect Bybit, credit card deposit, all these crazy, easy to use things to Apex. So for them to use Apex is literally if you want to make a deposit, your credit card information, whatever you deposit, you start trading on the Apex, and you don't even feel it's a DEX. You still enjoy the so the whole DEX concept is not something people want actually. People want easy to use things with the benefit of being more secure. But that's not the reason they come into crypto. They come to crypto, they want to make profit, they want to use something easy to make profit, right? But if you offer the DEX capability along with that, they would choose that. So that's our mentality to how to make Apex extremely simple.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's like people want everything. They want everything at every point. But actually, when it comes down to it, they would sacrifice something for the usability, and the usability comes first every single time. Like that's why no one, like most people hold their money on exchanges because they don't want the ball ache of going on MetaMask and having a freaking ledger and doing all the connections. That is the bottleneck. So it's all about usability, man. I completely agree. It's going to be interesting though the next few years. But I got a few more questions for you, man, and then not to do with exchanges, just to do with crypto in general. So, like, what do you personally like? What do you invest in more? I don't know. Do you have to tell us our personal investments or anything like that? But what do you like more, Bitcoin or Ethereum going forward the next 10 years? What would you rather hold on to, Bitcoin or Ethereum?
I think I put my personal is like 40% Bitcoin, 60% Ethereum now.
Nice. Okay.
I mean, I still think Bitcoin is the gold, is the gold for the for the whole crypto, but Ethereum has just got so much more possibilities. I feel like, I mean, this whole layer 2, layer 3 coming out, and all these this whole Web3 thing is based on the application layer, right? So I think Ethereum has got quite a bit of future, and I'm quite bullish on that. But other than these two, I'm not really investing in that because I don't have time to monitor all these other projects. And
so you're saying that your portfolio is generally denominated in Bitcoin and Ethereum in crypto?
Yeah, Bitcoin, Ethereum for sure. Yeah.
Nice, and you have more Ethereum than Bitcoin, so that's interesting because you know, a lot of people would look at Bitcoin as like, you know, their hodl stack, and then the Ethereum is to make more Bitcoin in terms of its gain. So I think that's interesting, and I think I understand your concept here. So it's like Ethereum is potentially the base for all equity. So say there's the stock market, which is all the equity, all the companies in the world. Ethereum could be the base for the new companies in the world, but the Bitcoin's like gold. You know, it's the standard, the money. And what's gold? $11 trillion market cap. the equity market's $250 trillion market cap. So are you saying that you just believe that Ethereum has a bigger growth story than Bitcoin?
Yeah, I think the concept of Bitcoin is very much understood, and I don't know if there's going to be more innovation built on Bitcoin. And of course, Bitcoin is the safe haven, right? But when you talk about innovation, I still think that the industry is driven by innovation. Like every single bull market is driven by some kind of innovation happening from within crypto. Like last bull run was the whole DeFi summer, the NFT, the Web3. I'm pretty sure this new bull run is going to be something like that. I mean, something that kicks up with high APY, people get excited, all come in, and the whole market start to move.
Yeah. Halving here happened.
Yeah, and that all to do with Ethereum. So I would say I'm trying to hold Ethereum at least to the next bull run and to the top, and maybe at some point before the whole thing comes to bear market again, I switch both of them to Bitcoin.
You need to get out of this bear market first, mate. No, like I think that's really interesting because I speak to a lot of people, and like most people always have Bitcoin as their number one, like their biggest part of the pie, because it's kind of the most secure as well. You know, what do you, just another question as well, just off the top of my head, like what did you think about the Ethereum merge over to proof of stake? Do you like proof of stake more than proof of work? Like, what did you think about that?
I don't really feel any difference, and I think the whole change was observed so well that there was literally no market movement. The whole process, right? We were like, oh, we're so excited, the market is gonna pump or dump, whatever. Nothing happened. So I think it was very well organized. Look, I mean, I also do see a problem with Ethereum is that the guy who invented it is still here. So anything he does could be a potential threat, right?
Yeah, it's another SBF, man.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. So this is why people tend to do Bitcoin, right? It's completely no surprises, right? So I can understand that as well.
Yeah. No, I do like what the thing is with the proof of stake. I've seen a lot of change. Like, do you remember EOS and do you remember like Tezos and do you remember all these other ones which are like delegated proof of stake and all these ones? The only problem is I see all those and they all kind of failed, like because of the governance problem. You know, the tokens all got bought up and then they had power over it. That's the one thing I'm like, Ethereum. If some dude comes and buys up all the ETH and then starts 51%ing it, then it's just a big problem. And like, I don't know if it will happen because it's so distributed, but I do think the burning of fees on it is really, really cool. I really like that because it's like deflationary now. That's like not Bitcoin doesn't even have that yet. Bitcoin's going to be kind of always inflated until it hits its max supply. But I don't know, and we don't know what's going to happen when it hits its max supply. Do you have any thoughts on that? When all the Bitcoin is mined, what happens then for miners?
For miners to just make fees, yeah. So some miners would choose to shut down, and the remaining ones will get higher. I mean, it's a whole demand and supply. So they make enough on the fees, packaging blocks, and yeah. So I think I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, I always have this thing in my head, like if there's not that block reward as well as the fees, you're basically just relying that Bitcoin has a big user base of people using it on chain. But if you had like say Ethereum or another chain as a second layer solution, and all the transactions were happening because of a token which was a peg, which was mirrored, you could have a problem where it's like, well, the miners aren't getting many fees because all the tokens are moving on the Lightning Network or something, right? All connected.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, where are they getting their fees from? That's kind of what I think. But that's, what is it, 2100 or some shizzle? So me and you both won't be here, mate. We don't have to worry about it.
It will just be smaller. It's like the way they say the last the last gallon of petrol it's not going to be ever consumed because it's going to be so expensive.
No, I think that's a good point. Yeah, true. Like, why would you get out of the ground if freaking Elon Musk is going to make the whole world electric? Freaking Bybit, you're going to be plugging your brain into the Bybit interface to trade in the future anyway. So fuck it, man. Gonna get crazy. But yeah, dude, that was a good chat, man. Good to meet you personally on a call. Just appreciate you coming on the show, and maybe in a year's time we'll do it again and see how everything's going on, man, and just keep up to date with you. But where are you going to next? What's your next plan for the next couple of months?
Plans, I mean, put our heads down, develop the products, focus, on banging out more corporate products for everyone.
Sweet, man. Cool, dude. Well, good to meet you anyway, and speak soon. See you on the flippies.
All right. Thank you.